Hi folks, the next thing we need to do is we need to do the eyebrows. So what I do is I go from the top of the hat, where the hat meets the eyebrow, and just go in a diagonal direction, as you see here. And then I go back and around and I cut those out. Again, because I can't see it real well from where I'm at, I'm going to do these a little separate. So you want to chop those out if you can. And again, you want to make sure you can get that right underneath the hat there. Alright, so you want to make sure you do this very carefully, okay? And do all these across. And on this side, you're going to go in the opposite direction, okay? You're going to have it going from the center out to the right or to the left. Alright? Now, the other thing we need to do is, you notice his feet aren't done either. So, we've got to do his feet. So, what we're going to do is we're just going to round them up. Okay. And I kind of did that before over here, but when we get done with this, you'll see what will happen here. Just going to round off this edge, this corner. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're just going to round off that shoe, just like so. Alright. If you want to, you can put a little sole on the bottom of the shoe if you want. You don't have to. If you want to put a little more detail in it, you can do it that way. Some of them I do, some of them I don't. Really, I concentrated a lot just on the head, on the face. After we're done doing this, he'll be pretty well finished, and I'm going to clean him up a little bit. I'm going to finish up his hair, and then I'm going to share with you what I do after that. I'm going to clean him up, and what I mean by cleaning him up is I take a little bit of alcohol and water, usually 50-50, or just straight alcohol if it's really dirty. After I'm done doing all the cutting and all that and all the handling on him. Oh, the other thing we want to do is we just want to round off the bottom, just a tad. Just round it off. So there's no blocky look to his shoes. Okay. Perfect. That looks really good. And if it's not over far enough, you just can cut a little bit off and make it match there. I like the pants are tucked in there a little bit. So there's no square edges on him at all. Just that little corner needs to be done. Okay, so that's our shoes, and then I'm going to round off the bottom here. Okay, so that's our little Santa, and when I come back I'll have all the hair done. I'll have, oh, I'm sorry, we've got to do the tassel. Yeah, I just noticed that. We're just going to round that off, just like so. A lot of little details on this guy, much more than you think sometimes. And you know, as you carve more and more, you begin to put a little more detail into the face and into the body and, you know, into the hands. And that's part of the learning process. What you see today and what you think you're going to get, you know, really get the detail a couple of years from now, if you're just starting, you'll see a vast difference between what you'll do today than maybe even 4 or 5 or 10 years ago. You know, usually as a beginner, if you've only carved for a short amount of time, I'm sure that you've seen improvement with every carving that you do. And, you know, what you didn't see in the beginning, you begin to see now. And that's perfectly okay. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and finish it off. What you want to do is take an eraser, too. If there's any kind of pencil mark, you want to try to erase those things off. The actually this needs to be trimmed off because we don't want any of the original wood, like the blocky portion. All this stuff needs to be trimmed off a little bit. Otherwise your color, when you go to paint, it's going to look different. See how dark that is? That's the original cut from the block. When they squared up the block, you want to get rid of that. It just makes painting so much easier when you do. And same thing over here. I'm just going to sliver this off. It's not going to be by much. Just a little hair line cut. You know, just a very small sliver. So it's all nice and white all the way around. Same thing here on his legs. We're just going to trim those things off. So the whole thing is carved. You know, that the knife hit everywhere on this carving. See his little butt here too is the same way, the back of his pants. We're just going to trim that off and make it white. Oh, that looks good. And you see I'm going back and cleaning things up a little bit. Same here, you want to make sure all this is even and flat. You know, as much as possible. You don't want to look too much of just a cut out piece. You want that to kind of blend in together. Alright, so there's our little guy. When I come back, I'm going to actually have him cleaned up and everything done here, and then I'll show you what to do to finish him up.